In today's video, we're going to look at using the text join function in Excel. This is a function that you could be asked to carry out if you're looking to take the Excel 2019 exam. In my worksheet, I have different addresses, and the address is broken up into different cells. What we're going to do is use the text join function to combine all of these cells together into one cell. I'm going to put my cursor in E2, and I'm going to hit the insert function button. On the certification exam, I want to encourage you to use the insert function button, especially on a more complicated function like this, because it will help guide you through the process, and you might miss a step if you're hand keying it out. The function that we want to use here is called text join. So I'll type that out. The text join concatenates a list or range of text strings using a delimiter. We'll click OK. The delimiter is character or string to insert between each text item. So when I have this address in one cell, I want to separate it by a comma and a space. So in our delimiter, we're going to type comma, space, and I'm going to hit tab. Notice that it put quotation marks around the comma and the space. That is a benefit of using the insert function button to build your formulas. Had you been manually hand keying in this function and you miss those quotation marks, it's going to come back with an error message, and it might confuse you. Ignore empty is going to ask you to put in either true or false. If you put in true, it's going to ignore any empty cells. So for this, we'll go ahead and type in true. Our text 1 is going to be the string of cells that we want to put together. I'm going to select A2 to D2, and we'll click OK and see what happens. Notice that it put the street address, put a comma, space, Miami Gardens, comma, space, Florida, comma, space, and then the zip code. And if I click and drag that down, notice it was able to carry out the same response for each address. I'm going to go ahead and delete out Tallahassee. Watch what happens to that line. Notice that the whole line disappears, including the comma and space that was after the street address. I'm going to put my cursor back in E3, and we're going to modify this to say false, or we put true. I'm going to click insert function, and for this, I'm going to type in false. And we'll click OK. Notice what happens to our function. This time it didn't ignore that empty cell, and it added a comma space after our street addresses, comma space. If you're looking to take the Excel exam, I want to encourage you to practice this function. If you're using this for your everyday spreadsheet use, I hope this was a help to you.